My name is André Holmqvist, and I'm Programme Manager at the London Festival of Architecture. For 30 Objects in 30 Days, I've chosen to talk about St Dunstan in the East, a church ruin in the City of London. The theme of the festival this year is care, and this church is a good example of how we've cared for historic buildings through the ages. The church was originally built around 1100 and then extended in the Gothic style in the 14th century. It was severely damaged in the Great Fire of London in 1666. Many of London's medieval churches were lost in the fire, and Sir Christopher Wren was famously commissioned to build 51 newly designed replacement churches, including St Paul's Cathedral. St Dunstan, however, was not redesigned but simply repaired and patched up, and had a new steeple designed by Wren. Unusually for Wren, he didn't create a classical steeple, but instead chose to create one in the Gothic style, sympathetic with the architecture of the medieval church. By the early 19th century, the church had become structurally unsound, and it was decided to tear it down and completely rebuild it in the Gothic Revival style, while keeping Wren's tower. During the Blitz in World War II, the church was completely gutted by a bomb raid. Rather than rebuild the church once more, it was decided to keep it as a ruin open to the sky, and in the 60s it was turned into a public garden. St Dunstan in the East testifies to the changing attitudes around care for our architectural heritage. In the 19th century, an increasing enthusiasm for medieval architecture inspired architects to tear down many medieval buildings and re-erect them in what was considered enhanced and more authentically medieval styles, just like at St Dunstan. Reacting against these practices, William Morris founded the Society for the Protection of Ancient Buildings and maintained that it is better to repair than to attempt to restore something. This view came to dominate conservation thinking in the 20th century, with a focus on the historic fabric of buildings and an opposition to restoration. Within that line of thinking, St Dunstan would have been considered most authentic as a ruin, which tells of the building's history. More recently, the global destruction of cultural heritage in war zones has made organisations such as UNESCO reevaluate their opposition to reconstruction. In 2015, ISIS destroyed the 2,000-year-old Temple of Bel in Palmyra. This was an opportunity to experiment with new technology and, using 3D printing techniques, the triumphal arch from the temple was recreated in London's Trafalgar Square. How we care for our built heritage is a constant debate. Whether the original appearance of a building or the surviving historic fabric is the most authentic, what is certain is the value of conserving places that have meaning for people and the identity of the community.